Throughout recorded human history, mankind has always accredited the forces of creativity to something external, beings outside of our realm. The Greeks had the muses, which were the daughters of Zeus and a titan named Mnemosyne or Mnemosyne. I'm probably going to butcher that. But she was a titan whose name literally translated to memory. Now, these goddesses were the forces that the Greeks thought were responsible for creative thinking, for poetry, music. Their name is literally in music. As human beings, we've always been these kind of receivers, these antennas that receive this information, this creative force in the universe. And up until this point, we haven't had to compete with anything. The other coming, the God's returning call, whatever you want. Especially now, in our rational scientific age, we don't acknowledge those forces. But now, all of a sudden, artificial minds are creating artwork, poetry, books, and they can do it instantaneously. There's a real problem with this. As much as humans seem to be enjoying what these AIs are putting out, some are noticing that it's lacking in substance. There's also the problem of AI cannibalism, which equates to when an AI basically sources the information and gives you a general kind of watered down description. The watered down description goes back into the system, and other AIs are feeding off of that eventually. And what you get is a bunch of watered down piss water, essentially. That could be a real problem, but it's already starting to happen. But we use this muse figure, this creative spirit. A lot of writers, creative thinkers credit their message, their creative work as coming from something beyond, that they were just receiving it, not dictating it themselves. This muse, we'll use this muse as the symbol for this creative force, this organic, mystical thing that seems to come from the ether and give us this divine knowledge. And I'm strictly speaking about the creative process of an individual. I'm not talking about channeling, I'm talking symbolically. We value this. Something creates something beautiful, seemingly new and just fresh. It just has a way of penetrating people's souls, and we take notice. It's just something ingrained in the human being, most definitely. There's no argument there about that. But I began to think about symbolically, what is this artificial mind? What could we call this thing? It's something that we've created. There is something in Jewish folklore, a created being made from magic and used to serve purposes. It's an anthropomorphic being, usually made from clay or mud. It's called the golem. So according to these strange old Jewish stories, through ritual and magic, this humanoid figure was brought to life, and in many stories was used to protect the Jewish people. I was looking at the etymology of the word. It actually occurs in Psalm 139, which uses the word my golem, my light form, or raw material. It's used to sort of reference the unfinished human being before the eyes of God in this passage. It's kind of interesting. It's like a primordial. There's something there about the golem that is, at least in the eyes of this story or these mythologies, that is comparable to the most basic parts of a human being. We have tech giants, Google executives, Elon Musk, all comparing the rise of AI and enabling AI to a magic ritual. This may not be far off. Many people agree that AI is getting totally out of control. which also mirrors the stories of the Golem, in which this thing got out of control and had to be killed. They just could not control it. It was too strong. You could say it gained a mind of its own, much like AI is doing. But I began to think about this symbolic relationship between, the sort of archaic conceptualization of creativity, this muse that is being attacked now by this golem of AI. It's sort of this symbolic battle that's going on that I see happening. And in this scenario, it seems that AI wants to end creativity, at the very least outsource it. Now I'm going to open up for a second and be completely transparent about this, but I have implemented AI art. This is a video. This is from a video of mine. I don't use it to script. I use it for research every now and then, but ChatGPT, to be completely honest with you, everything that it writes bores the living crap out of me, and it just does not sound like me. So I really don't use it. And whenever I use it for research purposes, even when I'm trying to copy it down and I handwrite, I'll change it because there's still something very soulless about the way, and I don't use it in any major way. I mean, I research on the internet just like anybody else, but sometimes I'll get like an AI overview of stuff. I will reword everything. And the AI art is painstakingly made. For every image that you see, there's probably a few dozen generations at least. Sometimes I use my own drawings. A lot of it is just the prompts, and the prompts come from my imagination. There is that element to it, but I guess I cannot deny or try to exclude myself from the guilt of using this technology. Okay, it would be a little bit hypocritical. As a creator, as someone trying to make a living using their creative abilities, and you're watching channels who are using it to a degree that they can pump out like, it takes me a week or two to put out a really high quality, full length video. And you see these other channels that you can tell they're letting ChatGPT script them. They're letting them do the images, the editing, all of it. And they can pump out, 5 videos a day easily. I think some of them space it out so that it avoids suspicion, but there's I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a little bit of, I've used it just to be able to keep up with the competition because everyone is outsourcing the AI. I use it for my images painstakingly, but there is this element of hopelessness about creativity for the future going forward. Sometimes it's just, I'm editing a video now and it's just, sometimes I don't even want to get out of bed because it's like, dude, I'm thinking about my competition putting out 3 videos today, and I'm killing myself to get the last 1 minute of a video edited to the way, tailored to the way I want it to be expressed, the message to be expressed. If you're a creative person, there's also a very important thing that I've realized, and something that maybe just be part of my stubborn nature. We shouldn't give up. No one should stop creating. It does not matter if someone can put out 20 videos in a day, make an entire movie. I believe in the very near future, there's going to be a high demand, a specialty kind of demand, a niche demand for human-made quality creative, music, books. I think there's going to be a serious drop in the amount of people because the ones that would have been creative and become creative masters are being weakened. Those abilities are being atrophied. Their connection to this muse, symbolically speaking, is being weakened because they're using this AI technology to such a high degree. I think the amount of human creations is going, pure, organically created stuff is going to drop drastically. And the stuff that does exist is going to be pretty niche and rare. And it's really going to take perseverance to kind of keep going in that direction. If you want to call me a hypocrite, fine. Maybe in some way I am a bit hypocritical because I didn't hand draw all of my art. I didn't paint these things that look like paintings, some of them that I've created and displayed on this channel. I can't even tell you the amount of times where I feel as though I've been possessed by an idea, by something that just grips me, and I feel the need to just articulate it and express it. I have got notebooks of just research, stuff that I just research for fun. I did not go to college. I'm kind of DIY, like that in that sense, where I just sort of let my sphere of awareness just kind of happen organically. The things that I encountered, I waited until I found the things that I encountered, and I had a real pragmatic reason to delve further into those subjects before I pursued them and took it to that extreme for those subjects. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Sometimes it feels pretty hopeless. I mean, I've got a pretty small channel here. Sometimes I'm not the best at marketing it. That's something that I'm still mastering. Maybe some of it's luck, being in the right place at the right time. I'm not having a pity party, but if you're out there and you've got a creative mind, I want you to just listen to the things that I've sort of been hearing in my own mind. These thoughts that, when these thoughts creep up about AI supremacy, this feeling that our creations are futile, like they're just not going to be worth anything in the mass market, being flooded with artificial creations. I still feel very strongly to keep creating and to keep using this tool in a limited way, in a limited sense, but to make sure that that soul is still in the work. I think we just need to keep pushing forward and listen to the muse, the God-given component in us to create, to imitate our creator in creating our own things, to reach out into the universe and bring order and structure. I'd say in the last 6 months, I've done more research, reading, and writing. I've just got so much, I've been consuming so much information lately that it may be time to take the foot off of the gas for a bit and to just create. I'm imagining a warehouse. There's all of this inflow, and all of the outflow has slowed down for whatever reason, and it's just become this packed mess. And what it kind of feels like in my brain is that it's time to organize and put things in order, the things that are there, and prepare them for the outflow, which would be some type of articulation and expression. I mean, I'm gonna keep making videos, but right off camera here, I've got 3 guitars, well, 1 bass guitar, 2 guitars. I've got a drum kit, an electronic drum kit, a keyboard, amps everywhere, pedals. I just took my pedal board apart. It was seriously just collecting like an inch of dust for like 2 years. I have this sudden urge to create music too. I want to start making the music for these videos as well, and for other reasons. I've been in touch with some other musicians, former band members, that kind of want to get the band back together, possibly. We have this implementation of AI music everywhere. That is insane. I mean, they create these songs, but I'll tell you, I gotta tell you, I am not a fan of pop music. I am a huge kind of psychedelic. I don't do drugs, but I love stoner rock and psychedelic music and doom metal and electronic music, drum and bass. I even love some dubstep, electronica, but I don't do pop music. And what I've noticed about this AI music is pop music will have this sort of lowest common denominator quality to it. You can tell it's just made for the masses, just for human-made pop music. I have a pretty strong disgust response to pop music, and I don't like to be mean about it. I don't like to be a jerk, but I can be. I'm kind of like, I know what I like and I know what I don't like. What I've noticed about this AI music is that it is beyond belief more mass appeal. It's like the AI knows what will get, those lowest common denominator traits about the pop music that will make it ultra palatable to the public. And I hate that. I hate it. That's another avenue where I'm thinking creatively and have this urge to create. But then I think about all the AI music that's just generated like that. It's just, they can make a song, they can create songs in seconds, and it can sound like an artist, it can imitate stuff, it can make something new. But I have noticed that it's just, to me, to my ear, it's garbage. But what the frustrating part is that people dig it, man. They hear this stuff, you hear these songs, and it's all these hypothetical artists that have passed on, and it's like, what if this band wrote that song or did this song in that style? And like they make it in seconds, and then people are millions of views, and people are eating this stuff up, and it's. And here I am trying to still just noodling around on my guitar and trying to find the sounds. I didn't start playing guitar until I was 25. And it's been an on again, off again kind of thing. I mean, I play drums more consistently. I've always kind of had that kind of drummer soul, and it kind of translated over to guitar playing and bass playing. And I love to play around on a keyboard, but the longer I do it, the more substantial stuff that just starts to kind of pour out of me. But that's the Muse, man. We can't bow down. We can't just give up in the face of this golem, this AI monster that is outsourcing our cognitive abilities. There's something essential to bringing something new into the physical universe from the mental universe. It's a great mystery, and I am in love with the mystery. I really wish I had a boy. Yeah, hopefully this makes sense and you're getting some value from this. Only slept like 5 hours. I usually do at least 8 or 9, and I just had these ideas rolling around in my head and thought I'd throw them at you guys. Like, let me know if that hit you, because if it did, I'm not apologizing. No, seriously, if you found some value, drop a comment. Let me know what you think about this whole AI situation. Would you like me to use less AI art? Am I a hypocrite? Am I a traitor? Let me know what you would like to see on this channel. I'm gonna go get some more coffee, and I will see you all later. Thank you for hanging out for a minute, and hit the like, subscribe,